All right. Well, it looks like we should be live. I'm going to wait for some people to get in. I have just now updated the link and everything. As when people come in, if you could do me a favor and just say hi, let me know that you're here, let me know that the sound is good. It'll take a couple minutes for everyone to get in. Today's a very exciting workshop, actually. It is leading edge. One of the benefits of being here is that I'm going to share with you some of the stuff that I've learned very recently that has totally transformed my own business. Everything's starting to get to the next level, and it's because of what I learned here. So I'm excited to be sharing that with you. Let me wait for some people to get in right now. Here in the next minute or two, should start to see some people coming in. So for those of you coming in, if you could do me a favor, and if you could let me know that you could hear me okay, let me know how the sound is as you're coming in. Today we're going to be talking about the formula for creating viral content. These are going to be things that have transformed my own business. These are going to be things that as you begin to apply, you will see your stuff scale. I promise you that. So it looks like people are coming in right now. Welcome everyone that's joining. What's up, Kelly? What's up, Ascension Vibrations? Nice to see all of you here. Awesome. Cool. What's up, Jaco? So as you're coming in right now, if you could do me a favor and just let me know that you could hear me okay. Let me know that the sound is good. And then once we know that, I'm okay, cool. I can hear you just fine. Ascension Vibrations, tip-top frequencies. I can hear you loud and clear. Awesome. Blue Moon Recovery, what's up? How are you? Kelly, sound is perfect. Jamie, sound is great. Jill, woot woot. Woot woot. Okay, I'm excited to see all this. So, first off, I want you guys to all know that I'm excited to be here with you. And I'm going to be answering questions here a little bit later. What I wanted to do is share with you some of the things that I've learned from studying different people's podcasts. I've been studying a lot of, have you guys ever heard of Jay Shetty or Prince EA, who are well known in the spiritual community for making very, very viral content. They have like 10 million, they each have over 10 million followers on just Facebook. And then they have millions of followers on other platforms as well. So welcome to everyone that's joining. Welcome to Christine. Yay, it worked. Hi from Ireland. Nice. What's up? I can't wait to go to Ireland. Kevin says, hi, Aaron. I can hear you loud and clear. Awesome. The man of the hour says, hey, guys, nice to be with you. Awesome. Well, I'm happy that all you guys are here. I'm excited. As we go through this, feel free to put in questions, just in general that you have. Questions that you have in general, go ahead and put them into the chat box. Now, what I'm going to do is, first off, ask, are you guys ready to learn the secret to virality, to having viral videos? I thought I knew the answer. I thought that, I've been making videos for a while. I've got some videos to go viral. Definitely, I've gotten a lot of results from what I've been doing. But this has been taking my content to the next level. It's more of a philosophy, too. It's sometimes we focus on the wrong things when we're making lots of content, and we think it's all about views, or it's all about the conversions of the money we're making. But the switch that I'm going to be sharing with you today makes all the change in the world. And some of it's going to seem very simple, but this I've applied for about 2 or 3 weeks now, and I have a video that I posted last week that got 200,000 views in 1.5 2 days from applying this concept. My Instagram went from getting like 10,000 new followers a month to 17,000 followers a month, and I've only been applying that for about 1.5 weeks, so maybe it'll be even more. So what I'm going to be sharing with all of you is this secret to virality, this secret to creating viral content, this formula, if you will. And I'm going to be sharing with you these. I have a lot of stuff written down. I've done a lot of preparation for this Q&A because I really want to add the most value to you. You guys are all here creating content. Feel free to share and put in the comments your questions. I'm going to get to them in a little bit. But what I thought I would do is maybe wait one more minute. It's been a couple of minutes. So how's everyone doing first off? How's everyone doing? How is it creating content? How often are you all creating content as well? I'd be curious to know. Figure for a minute we'll just all communicate and see where we're all at. It's cool. We've been seeing comments from people in the group that some people are going full time, doing what they love, posting like, I'm finally full time doing what I love. It took this many number of months, which is really cool. So just so you all know, it's possible. It's not only possible, it's probable the more that you do it. Let me also, doing great. Ascension Vibrations to sure. Ascension Vibrations doing great. How are you today? I'm doing awesome. I watched the fight last night at Victor's house. We had both of our assistants there. Victor, I have an assistant. He's actually someone from this group. You guys may know Austin. Austin is my assistant. He comes over every day at about 10:30, 11 to comment on the, to help out with, posting videos, upload videos to YouTube. And then Forrest is Victor's assistant. So we all met up yesterday and we watched the UFC fights. It was really cool. And then I got to bed a little bit later last night, but I feel really good. I have a lot of energy. I've been trying to go to bed at like 10 o'clock every night to get up earlier because there's this magical thing when you get up early in the morning, you're just so much more productive. Awesome. Jamie says almost every day. That's good. Yeah, the more content you make, the more you get into that vibration, the better. That seems to be the key. Something else, there's this other formula that I've been applying that I think also really works. This isn't for content. This is for content. What I want to share with you as well is this personal development formula. It's real simple. I'll explain it real quick. It's another formula. So you can use this formula for anything. This formula is called the miracle equation. Have any of you ever heard of that? Tip Top Freaker says, I'm doing amazing. Did one of your guided meditations the other day and loved it. I'm happy to hear that. Yeah, I want to start making more meditations. People seem to love. One sec, let me see. Cool. All right. Sorry about that. So, let's see. Hi guys, what was the podcast called that Aaron recommended? What recommended podcast did I recommend? I have my podcast, Expand Your Awareness 2.0. I'm not sure. What's up, August? Nice to see you. Christine says the last 9 months have been a crazy ride, my own transformation healing journey. Been on the road ever since. Been on the roads now going to Ireland. I really want to start again. Yeah. Very nice. Yeah, I've been noticing a lot of people have been going through transformation. Just transformation on many different levels. Awesome, good to hear. So the quick formula before we get into, looks like most people are here. We're about 7 minutes in. I'm going to get into the viral content part of the workshop here in a second. One quick thing that I think will add a ton of value to a lot of you is this simple formula for life in general. It is, okay, it's right here. It is, dang, what is it? It is, I'm trying to remember the exact extraordinary. And what is the first part? It is, oh yeah. So, this formula is unwavering faith plus extraordinary effort. Unwavering faith plus extraordinary effort. I got this from a book called The Miracle Equation. And every single person that you've ever seen successful uses this whether they're aware of it or not. Now, I use this to go full-time on YouTube, and I wasn't even really aware of it. And it's unwavering faith. It's a vision. It's a focus on a certain vision that you just keep focusing on, and you know that it's something that you can accomplish. So unwavering faith is keep focusing on that vision. Keep doing things that put you in the direction of that vision. And having that vision and that faith in the vision, the certainty that that vision can happen. And we have proof of it because you've seen people like Victor and I or many other people go full-time doing what they love. That vision will keep you in a certain direction, and then extraordinary effort. Extraordinary effort. Not ordinary, like think of extraordinary, extraordinary. Going above and beyond what most people will do to get that result. So for example, I made videos every single day on YouTube. A lot of people at the time were doing that. And it was, to me, extraordinary effort. I would find different ways. I would learn marketing. I would learn all these different things. I would put extraordinary effort, extraordinary effort. A lot of people in the spiritual communities that were on YouTube weren't learning about the marketing side of it. So I said, I'm going to learn all of these different angles so that I can add as much value as possible. So unwavering faith, the vision that you have plus extraordinary effort will get you the results that you want. So this is not even about the virality. I just wanted to share that real quick because I've been noticing the more and more I look in reality, every single successful business person that you see has had a certain vision, whether that's Steve Jobs, whether that's anybody that you've seen that's acquired a lot of success, and they put in extraordinary effort. It doesn't feel like work though when you're doing it passionately, when you love what you do. So that formula is a little bit of a side tangent, but I kind of felt guided to share that with all of you because if you look at Victor of Mind Success on YouTube, it did take extraordinary effort. Doesn't mean we had to try really hard and resist and all this negative emotion, but what it does mean is we did extraordinary effort. We went above and beyond what most people were willing to do in order to get the kind of results that we have. So extraordinary effort, unwavering faith, the vision, the focus. You can wire this in with auto-suggestion, telling yourself, saying affirmations like, I'm committed to going full-time doing what I love. I am committed to being this kind of person. I'm committed to making a video a day. Those affirmations are very powerful. So let me know what you guys think of that. That's a quick little thing I wanted to share with everyone now that we're perfect. I'm going to get into it now, and I'm going to share with you the key to virality. So this at the top is the formula for viral content. The game changer is I used to think that it was all about headlines, it was all about search engine optimization, and a lot of what I'm going to share with you in this formula is stuff that I kind of applied, but it didn't all cohesively glue together. Now, the first one you probably know. V stands for value. V stands for value. Now, the value is something that when people watch, people see it as something that adds value to them. They see it as something that adds on to them. It's something that makes them more clear, more direct, makes them understand more about who they are. And E stands for emotion. People feel, when they feel emotion, that's going to be what gets them into a state of wanting to help you make content viral. So here's the key to virality. Value plus emotion equals shareability. The main focus every single one of you should be focused on is not getting more views necessarily, it's having people share your content. That's the key for virality. For growing your content, for growing your business, it can be that of creating content that's mainly like, you're putting out there that adds value, but if you want and gets views. But if you really want to scale your content and you really want it to be value, the key to this is making your content shareable. The more shareable your content is, and we're going to get into the deep part of this because there's a lot that goes into something that people share. Now, the key to creating shareable content is understanding the psychology of people. Now, I made that video recently that was on, the video that I had get 200,000 views in 2 days was on stop chasing. It said, stop chasing success, money, and love, and instead do this. Stop chasing money, love, and success, and instead do this. And in the video, it adds a lot of value. It's like a pattern interrupt. It's like, stop chasing this. Well, it's kind of like the thumbnail. The thumbnail was with me in it. I had this limiting belief that I couldn't be in my thumbnails, wouldn't be successful, but now I'm in all of my thumbnails and they seem to be doing okay. So it's also be aware of your limiting beliefs here. And maybe part of it is because I already have that audience or whatever. But in general, I'm just kind of breaking down why that video went viral. In 2 days, got 200,000 views. One of the reasons is because of the emotion I was spiking. I did this thing where I was in such a mode of flow state. I was like, there was an energy to it. It was an emotion. I was like, can you watch my video? Please watch my video. Oh my God, if you watch my video, it would make me feel so good. Please watch my video. And I was showing people how you don't want to watch my video when I have that desperate type energy. Just like if you're trying to attract a relationship, if you're like, please go out with me. Oh my God, if you went out with me, it'd make me feel so good. I feel so validated. You see the energy difference? Well, in that video, I was spiking emotion because even though that kind of felt a little cringy, I was expressing myself in a very in a way that really got the point across. And I noticed I have some videos that I'm really expressive. I'm really like using my tonality. I'm really using my body language in a powerful way. So understand that emotion is powerful for the videos. That's what makes people share. People were probably sharing it because I was getting that point across. And a lot of times the emotion will also come from the stories that you share. A lot of the videos that I have that have gone viral have had an amazing story in it, or a story that just people connect to. Now, I'm going to share with you some of them. Why do people share? Why do people share? Let me see if you could share. So what are some of the reasons that you think people share content? Because remember, creating viral content is not about creating content that just gets views. You want people to promote your content for you. I'm going to show you something on my Instagram right now too. So I'm going to show you something. So how does this resonate with you all so far? Personally with the individual, yep. Nice. I'm invincible determination, cool. Yes. So as we go, feel free to ask questions as well. Ask questions because in a little bit I'm going to answer. I'm going to open it up to questions. So Jackie says they think it will help or resonate with other people they know. That's true. That's part of it. Here is the selfish reason why most people share content. When we talk about Instagram, when we talk about different content, the main reason that people share content is for the way it makes them look. Think about that. People share content that enhances their own identity, not us. Like imagine we create the content. The people that share content on Starseeds, like maybe I have a Starseed video, somebody shares that video. The person that shares that video is comfortable with people seeing them as somebody that's into Starseed information. People share content that enhances their self-image. The reason people share content is normally a pretty selfish reason. Maybe even they want to be the person that's adding the value, and that's powerful too. There's nothing wrong with any of this. But the reason people share content is because of the way it makes them look. So I started to realize the psychology of this, and here's what I started to do. If you guys look at my Instagram, this is my Instagram right here. It's been growing much faster since I've applied some of this of understanding the shareability of things. Let me show you this. So I have these old posts. So this is actually something that Victor and I were talking about. And Victor, so let me show you. I used to post these posts. These are my older posts. I don't know if you could see these. My older posts for quotes was just it would add value, but like something might say, if you can read this, it says, life is a reflection of what you believe to be true. You never go over to a mirror and try to change the reflection. You know that you must first change the expression on your face, smile, and like the idea is to emit the positive vibration you want, right? But you can't really see what it's about just by glancing at it. The way people are wired is they need to see what something is about in like 2 seconds. So here's what I started to do differently. First off, I made it less about the philosophy and I made it more about just adding value. Okay? Now let me show you something that got crazy amount of shares. I'm showing this to you so that you guys, so all of you can see why this works so powerfully. So I started applying this. Before I learned this, the shareability of what I'm sharing with you right now, of how to make things more shareable, I was getting probably 400 to 500 followers a day on Instagram, which of course isn't bad. That's not bad at all. I'm not here complaining about that. But I started to apply this. Now I get like 700 to 800 a day. Imagine that. Simply applying a couple of these principles I'm sharing with you has taken my Instagram from 400 a day to about 600 to 800 a day because I'm applying this. Sometimes almost 1,000 a day. So here's what I did differently. Now look at this post. Formatted much differently. 3 ways to reprogram the subconscious mind. Number 1, number 2, number 3. It's something that I know that Victor was doing, and he had this format down with the headline. It was working really well for him. So he's like, yeah, go ahead and try this. So we're telling you right now, this works. Have a big headline if you're doing quotes, but look at the psychology of this. Now look at this. So this post right here, I don't know if you can see it, was shared 1.3 thousand times. It was sent to people's DMs. Somebody shared that 1.3 thousand. So 1,300 times somebody shared this. Okay? 5.8 thousand people saved this post. Because this is so much more shareable than the one that I had before. Than like this kind of style. And these still, let's see, this one got shared 400 times. And this one is on anytime somebody, and this was actually one performed really well for this kind of style. It says anytime you really, really want this, you're vibrationally saying, I really, really don't currently have it. So these don't get shared as much. Now, why is that? Well, one, it's harder to read, but two, there wasn't an intention on this post to add as much value. I was more so focused on being intellectual and smart. But once I started focusing on the adding the value, like look at these new posts that I have as you go up. These new posts that are on your guys' right, these are all focused on like 1, 2, 3, add value, 3 things to remember when feeling negative emotion, 3 things to remember about people who have hurt you, 3 ideas from the book Think and Grow Rich. I'm not even sharing my original ideas with Think and Grow Rich. I mean, they're my 3 favorite topics, but what I do is I get these ideas and I compact them, and this alone right here has taken my content to the next level on Instagram. Now, most of my content on YouTube is on adding value, but it hasn't been on adding value and making things shareable. These add value and they're so shareable. Because what does it say about the person that's, people do selfishly want to be the ones that add value. This is a good thing. You're being selfish in the way that you want to be the one to add the most value. But also, people will share things that make them look or appear a certain way. So, when we're talking about subconscious mind, let go of negative thinking. Like, for example, if you posted a video on mental health of like 3 things to remember for mental health, people want to share that because they want to be the ones, they may identify and advocate mental health. So they're more likely to, and maybe they know someone in their family that also is going through some type of mental health situation. So they, in a way, because of their identity, they want to be the one to share this about mental health. You want to look to why people, as far as psychology goes, why people want to share content. So the key to creating viral content is not creating content to get views, not even only creating content to create value. You want to create content that is extremely shareable. Extremely shareable. The more shareable your content is, the more viral your content will go. There's some people like Jay Shetty. Has anyone ever heard of Jay Shetty? Jay Shetty, Prince EA. They both are huge on Facebook because Facebook is so easy to share. They each have like over 10 million followers on Facebook alone, maybe over 20 million followers. It's crazy because it's created so much for sharing, because it's like you push one button, you share it, and people's social media is their digital walls. Think about that for a minute. So back in the day, what would we do when we were kids? We would have I don't even know if this still is relevant, because some kids now, some people like 20 probably didn't have posters in their rooms, but people would have posters in their rooms of things they identified with. Maybe a rock band, maybe a hip-hop artist, maybe somebody that they identified with. That would be on their walls in their room. That was their wall. That was how they expressed themselves. You go into their room, you know what they're about. My little sister's room used to have like Hannah Montana in it, Justin Bieber. That's what she identified with. That was who she was. She was interested in that kind of content. Well, nowadays, we don't put posters on our walls in our house. Maybe we do, but we mainly express ourselves through our social media walls. Those are our new walls. Now think of it. People want to share things that enhance their self-image and that allow them to express themselves. So when we're creating viral content, and just content in general, Even if you're like, oh, you want to create content that is extremely shareable. Just like I showed on my Instagram. This one switch has had me go from 400 followers a day to 700 to 800 followers a day. And I've only been applying it for maybe 2 weeks. That's why when I was inspired to make this, to help you understand this formula, it is value plus emotion. The emotion is the story. The emotion is the emotions you spike, and we're going to get into those emotions in a minute, equals virality and shareability. And remember, people share things they emotionally connect to. People share things that enhances their self-image. Like if you post something, like for example, if I were to post something about like Gary Vaynerchuk, a lot of people like Gary Vaynerchuk, if you know who he is, because he represents working hard. He's like a symbol of like working hard. You work really, really hard, you hustle your face off, you'll become successful. Other people like that archetype. They like what Gary Vee represents, so therefore, they also want to be the same way. By sharing his content, they think that they are more like him, and that people will also perceive of them to be more like Gary Vaynerchuk. You see? You guys see how this works here? What's up, Josh? Nice to see you here, bro. Christine says, sharing your stories versus just talking about yourself. How much is too much? It's with an intention of the story. The intention of the story. It's not this or that. It's both. So, I share my story a lot in my YouTube videos, and probably sometimes it sounds like a broken record. Because I make daily videos on YouTube, and I've been doing it for so long, but the story is what connects people. And you never know. There's people that watch some of my videos for the first time, but the people that watch every day will be like, oh, that's a repetitive story. You can't really share too much if there's an intention behind it. And anytime I share it, I'm sharing it with a little bit different angle, a little bit different intention. What's up, Victor? We got Victor in the house as well, as you see. So people share content based on how it makes their own self-image look, which gets a little tricky sometimes with esoteric concepts because not everyone some people do. I guess it just depends. So some people may not be the one that shares starseed information, for example. Some people will be afraid, but some people really get off on it. They really like to do that. But understand that for this process, people share content based on how it makes them look, how it enhances them. So people that share Gary Vaynerchuk content believe in Gary Vaynerchuk and the work hard mentality, hustle your face off. People that share Jay Shetty's content like he was a monk, his story. Also, another thing that all of you can focus on is your story. Your story, because people share people's why. Like, people share Jay Shetty because he was a monk who wasn't happy. He wasn't happy with his life. He was in the digital, the corporate world. Then he goes and he becomes a monk for 3 years, and then he comes back, and now he's like one of the most famous personal development people in the world. But people share him because he's making wisdom go viral. It's very simple. People might share my content because I help people expand their awareness, and they want to help spread the message of expanding awareness. And even now, I'm dialing in more on this. And maybe we'll do a whole other workshop on specifically developing. You let us know if you want to do that for Victor or I to do this. A whole workshop on us developing our why and our story for who we are and what that represents to the people that follow us. You see, so creating viral content, though, is about understanding value plus spiking emotion with stories and then making it very extremely easy to be shareable. Now, here are some of the emotions. What are some of the emotions that you think people share content on? What are some of the like when you feel this emotion, you want to share content? What are some of those emotions? Okay, Josh says, would love that. Sarah would love that too. I'd love that. Kelly says, okay, so maybe one of the next ones we do, maybe next month I'll do that one. I'll do it on finding your one thing that you represent, Cool. Joshua says overcoming something. Eleanor says yes, please. Okay, that looks like a pretty solid yes. Motivation, nice. What is the emotion? What is the emotion that you think When people feel this emotion, they want to share. I'll give you one of them right now. Happiness. When you feel happy when you watch something, when you see someone that's happy, when you feel happiness when you're looking at content, you want to share that content. Happiness is one of the emotions. Hope. Nice one, Josh. Empowering themselves, yep. So, inspired. Good, awesome. Yeah, these are all powerful emotions that we feel when we're sharing content. Any other emotions you guys can think of? I'm going to share them here in a minute. The main ones that people share on. And then I'll share some tactical side of things. Fear. Yeah, there are some negative emotions that people do share on. Anger is one of them. If like the president says something, they get triggered in emotion and they want to share something. But the positive emotions, the thing is when you're sharing content and it's related to your brand, you want it to be positive emotion. Because you don't want people thinking about your brand as triggering them, if that makes sense. August says confirmation. Nice. Nice, Joshua said, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, here are the main emotions. The first one is happiness. People will share content based on what makes them feel happy. Could be information that adds value, like, it could be more personal help emotions, that like things that add value with being happy, like how to be more happy. But in general, things that make people feel happy. A baby. A little baby, an animal. I know anytime I'm with Leor and we're going somewhere, she sees a dog, she just like melts and is like, oh my, she goes crazy, People, that's why cat videos were like the first videos shared on YouTube that were shared like crazy. Happiness. Now, there's 5 main emotions. Happiness. The second one is awe. Awe, like a sense of awe, like something, it could be scenery. It could be some type of, massive building that's being built. Awe, like there's a sense of awe there. Awe is another emotion. And now here's the thing. All these emotions I'm sharing with you right now, think about how you can fit in stories, because stories help people feel emotion. And think about, yeah, exactly. Josh says, cue Jason Silva. If you guys don't know Jason Silva, he's got something, he used to do the Brain Games. Called Brain Games on Netflix, but he's like this really intellectual, the way he speaks, and it's about creating a sense of awe. His YouTube channel is also on creating awe. So things that just like blow your mind, like awe, or just things that make you just feel that emotion. Now the third one is empathy. It's empathy. There are some ones like there's been some where there's have you ever seen those videos where you have people with different viewpoints and they then get personal with each other, then they end up liking each other. Like somebody that maybe, I've seen one before where it was somebody that hates immigrants. And then what they do is you got someone that hates immigrants and then someone that is an immigrant, and then they connect emotionally. And they put away their differences of like border control and all that stuff. I've seen that video before, and it has millions and millions of views because it taps into empathy. You tap into the human emotion and feeling like you understand or you feel what someone else has been through. So sometimes that could also be, maybe somebody shares that because they see someone going through mental health issues, and they know someone with mental health issues, or they've had mental health issues. They're more likely to share that because of the empathy, the relatability that they have with people. I think a lot of people that resonate with my content, yes, exactly, Jill says connectedness. Some people that resonate with my content may resonate with the abuse that I went through when I was a kid. And they may have also been through hard times when they were a kid. Or some people may resonate with me because I used to work a 9-to-5 job that I hated, and now a lot of you are here. You may have heard my story about working a 9-to-5 job I hated, now how I do what I love, and part of that to you may feel like, that may also propel you. But maybe I was talking about how much I hated my 9-to-5 job, and you may feel some empathy there. You're like, yeah, I hate going into my job and doing this and doing that. You see, so empathy is a powerful emotion. The next emotion I use all the time on my Instagram, on my YouTube. Curiosity. Curiosity. So, when you are curious, about different things. You know, like for example, that video that I had that got 200,000 views in 2 days, it said like, stop chasing money, love, success, and instead do this. Do this. What do I do? What do I do instead of chasing it? Because I really, really want something, but what do I do instead? And you look at the thumbnail and it says, it will chase you. Curiosity. All of my Instagram and thumbnails focus on curiosity. That's my main emotion that I'm just really, really good at spiking with people, is curiosity. And sometimes that means you look at the thumbnail, you think you know what it is, or you don't know what it is, and that makes you want to find out more. You look at my video that has over 2 million views on YouTube, it's 3 things you agreed to before you were born but forgot. And then the thumbnail says, did you forget this? What did I forget? You see, curiosity, very powerful emotion. And ideally, you want to spike curiosity with just the thumbnail or the headline alone. Now, the last one is surprise. How many of you seen prank videos? How many of you seen surprises where people are, they get like a surprise house or a surprise car from somebody? Or a surprise, like you think you know what's going to happen, and then the exact opposite happens. There was a movie that I watched that I told Victor to watch, and he went and watched with his wife Patty last night, called Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Very good movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, with Brad Pitt, with Al Pacino, and a whole bunch of other people. Amazing movie. But at the end, it's like this whole leading up to this movie, and there's a level of surprise throughout the movie that makes it such a good movie. And there's also a level of empathy, because you can really feel connected to the actor in it, who is like an artist who like kind of got pushed down. And we always like these stories of people that have risen down and then rise back up, and we can a lot of times resonate with people. What's up, Corey? So thank you. Yeah, plot twist, that's surprise as well. So here's the thing. These 5 emotions, happiness, awe, empathy, curiosity, and surprise, if you can add in 1 or 2 of these emotions in a video, much more likely of it going viral. If it also adds value, and that's the emotion. So value plus emotion, and you can hone in on those 2 things, you have a recipe for starting to create viral content. Viral content. It's based on how often will people share your content. And make it really easy for people to share your content. Now here's another quick tip that I learned while studying this. Give away your best information in the first minute or 2 of a video. I'm going to start doing my content like this, and I've been focused more on this. Normally you think, no, you want to keep them hooked till 10 minutes in so you get more watch time. But the idea is if you give everything away in the beginning, that's the amazing content, it kind of fulfills that need of them wanting to feel that they got what they wanted out of it. And many times that then allows them to feel more of that, to feel more like you're adding value, and like they want to stick around and see what else you can add, what other kind of value you can add. So the first 7 seconds of any video, whether that's an Instagram video, a YouTube video, are the most important, because that's what hooks people in. Grab attention with one of these emotions. Curiosity, surprise, empathy, value. That value is normally the way that I focus on it, but now I'm going to start focusing on the emotion. The emotion is what's really powerful. But in the beginning of all my videos, I give people a reason to stick around. Watch, in this video, I'm going to show you how to do X, Y, and Z. Stay to the end of this video, and you'll know exactly how to do that. Gives them like a bold promise, in a way. And my goal is to deliver that, and to spike emotion, and to make things very shareable. So, the key to making things shareable, a lot of it has to do with, like I was showing you on my Instagram, make it stuff that, it's sometimes with these posts right here, like this one I did, 3 things that influence your vibration, you don't even know it. I had 1.4 thousand people share that post. This post alone has gotten me over 100 followers just on that one post. And probably more than that, but they can track it straight from this post that then they ended up following me from. 2.8 thousand saves. You see, this is the power of making things more shareable. Even this one didn't do as well, but it still had 500 shares, which is more which is more than any of my other ones. You see, you want to focus on creating shareable content. Don't focus on content that only gets views. Focus on content that's shareable, because then people work for you. When people share all of the videos that I've had go viral on YouTube that gone mega viral have been videos that if I go to the share metric on your YouTube channel, and you can go to analytics and check that. If you go to the share part of your YouTube channel, you can see which videos get shared the most. And then dissect why those videos got shared the most. Find out why. Look at what you did in the beginning of the video. Look at the emotions you shared. Look at the story you shared. Look at the value you added. Break down your own content. So a big promise, Josh says, so a big promise in the first 7 seconds would be a good hook. It normally is a good hook. That's what I do with all my YouTube vids. Depends on the platform though. YouTube, that works well for. Instagram, I mean, people's attention span on Instagram is like seconds. So you have to get right into, maybe one day I'll do also an Instagram workshop. I'll show you how picking Instagram videos is an art of itself. You know, I see sometimes people say like for example, starting a video on Instagram. Some people will go like, you know, this is the most powerful way to feel happiness a majority of the time. People, when you focus on what other people think, it makes you unhappy. So if I were to start that with, this is the way and this is the reason you feel 3 ways you can feel happy. That on Instagram wouldn't be as powerful as going straight into a curiosity or a pattern interrupt. It's like, instead if I were to say something like, caring what other people think is killing your happiness, it's a statement, it's a bold statement. I'd say on Instagram, a bold statement works better than a bold promise. I've done the bold promise on Instagram before. It doesn't do as well though. It's like, by the end of this 1 minute video, you're going to know X, Y, Z. But on YouTube, that works very well. So, just to recap all of this, the main 5 emotions people share is when they're watching one of your videos, they feel happiness, awe, surprise, empathy, or curiosity. These 5 things are what triggers people to share content. Beyond that, understand that people share content based on how it makes their identity look. So because of that, be aware of how people sharing your content will make them look, as weird as that sounds, but this does work. And then make your content extremely shareable. Focus on the value you add, always the value, the main purpose of full-time purpose is understanding the value you provide. Make valuable content with emotion, and the emotion is the stories, it's the emotions, the state transference. People feel what you feel. People like my videos because I'm in a flow state and they can almost feel that vibe off of me. So in the same way, focus on that for you. What is that for you? That flow state. So focus on that. Focus on creating consistent content, of course. And focus on getting content to be shared. Like I said, on YouTube I've been applying this. On Instagram I've been applying this. It just works. It just works. When you look at the biggest names in social media, they're people that are shared the most. You don't have to then... the marketing is done for you. The best in any business is referrals. Because then someone that you trusts someone else. Like the people that do my taxes was based on referral. The people that I go to Reiki for, or the people that I go for spiritual guidance, are people that have been referred to me. Those are the people I trust. Those are the people that there's a level of credibility there that just is automatically translated. When you get people to share your content, it has much more likelihood of going viral. That's how things go viral. But if you focus on value plus emotion, and one of those emotions is either happiness, awe, empathy, curiosity, or surprise, you even sometimes add 1 or 2 of those into a video, watch how much more watchable and shareable your content becomes. So let me know what you all thought of today's workshop. I know it's a little bit different. We're mainly focused on, this idea of creating shareable content. But let me know what you guys think. Also, I'm going to be answering questions for the next 10, 15 minutes. So anybody that has questions, go ahead and ask. I'm going to go through. And as long as you guys are asking questions, I'll be here. So let me know what you all thought of this. And let me know if you have questions about this in general, about creating shareable viral content or whatever, just let me know. Let's see. Making a ton of videos. So Josh says, making a ton of videos on YouTube or making 2 to 3 a week that get higher quality. It depends on you and the kind of content that you are making. I think honestly 2 to 3 videos a week is good. I think that's very good. I think that 2 to 3 a week, as long as you're not making videos. I would say for all of you on YouTube, if you're doing like 2 videos a week, go to 3 videos a week. If you're doing 3 videos a week, go to 4 videos a week. See how it makes you feel. If it's really like you have this crazy it's a big deal to make that much content, to be aware of it. Be aware of how it affects your energy as well. But many of you may tell yourself a story that your content is better at 2 or 3 a week than it is at daily. Just be aware. Maybe that's true, but be aware if it's a story or not. Victor used to tell himself a story that it was hard for him to make videos as often as I did. He told himself that for a long time, and then eventually one day I kind of woke him up. I was like, bro, you could do it. And I showed him. I said, it's a story. And he changed that story, and he makes videos every single day now. So Victor does it with 3 kids and being very busy with that. I think all of you can do it. Now, I know not everyone's in just put it on a camera and go. Some people, even for Lior to make videos, you got to put on makeup and all this stuff. For guys, maybe it's easier. But maybe that's a story as well. Who knows? But be aware of whether it's story or whether it's actually something that's conducive to your energy or not. Now, in general, there's a reason on YouTube every 48 hours there's a metric there. It shows you how many views you get every 48 hours. Meaning that's important. If you make a video every other day, you're always hitting it every 48 hours with the video. That's going to be better than every 3 days. Just going to throw that out there. That's a game changer I've seen a lot of people take their channels to the next level by, instead of doing it every 2-3 times a week, they then go to every other day. So that's something I'll throw out there as well for you. So Jamie says, how do you upload that to your IG page? Because I can only upload photos. How does that make sense? Awesome vids, you have an IG page, our format, DSLR format, landscape. It's just how it, there's nothing you have to format differently. It's just landscape is how it's like the YouTube video. Oh, what you do is it's like 1080 by 1080 is the thing, and then you frame it down to fit in that 1080 to 1080, and then I put the title above and below. The title is very important, the headline, because it's what gets people to click on it. So 1080 to 1080, and then you just take the video, you put it in your editing software, and it just goes to there, and then you can add text on the top or bottom. Kelly, what's your niche? Kelly says, I love that. I'm still struggling with my niche. Seems very broad. What's your niche? But yeah, we'll do that in a future one. We'll kind of narrow in on our message, on our niche, on our why we create content and who we are. I'm still working on this myself, but we can all do it together because I've definitely dialed in. I've learned a lot, so I can help with what I know. Let's see. Josh says, what is the UF plus EE you wrote on the board? This was something that I shared at the beginning. It's separate from, it doesn't really have to do with viral content. This is something that's called the miracle equation. It's just something I read a book. It's called the miracle equation. And I realized that this is like the key to my success. It's just everyone uses it that's successful, whether they're aware of it or not. Unwavering faith on a certain vision. Unwavering faith. You just keep, I was making daily videos because I believed in the vision of me being a daily YouTuber. Unwavering faith plus extraordinary effort. Extraordinary effort. Not extraordinary, extraordinary. Think of it like that. It makes it easier. Extraordinary effort. Going beyond what everyone else would do to get that result, to that vision. Go beyond that. For example, the author of that book had cancer. Instead of just going and eating healthier, he ate healthier. He started doing coffee enemas. He started doing like this ozone layer sauna. He started doing hyperbaric. He started doing all of these things that was extraordinary effort. But he did that with the vision of him getting out of this cancer, which only 20% of people normally got out of. He was able to do that. extraordinary effort. Do what everyone else is not willing to do. When I was making daily videos on YouTube, most people, there's only I think like Ralph Smart, maybe one or two other people in the niche that I'm in that were making daily videos. I said, you know what? I'm going to make more videos than I ever thought I could, and that changed my self-image. So unwavering faith, meaning the moment something happens that shows you that, oh, that's not the case, you have faith enough in your vision that you know that that's just something that's happening. That doesn't mean you're not successful or you can't accomplish what you want. So, thanks Ascension Vibrations. Happy to hear that. Will this video be rewatchable for us? Absolutely. You'll be able to watch this. The link will still be in the Facebook group, and we'll put it in the course as well. Let's see. Let me answer a couple more questions. Love the formula. Easy, just the right thing for me. We'll have to finally do the YouTube videos. Thanks, Darren. Yeah, you're welcome. Eleanor says, is there a recommended length for a YouTube video? In general, I would say 10 to 15 minutes is about the sweet spot. 5 minutes normally, the watch time on that isn't very good, and then it just depends on how long can you keep people watching. Because if you do an hour-long video, but nobody's watching past 20 minutes because it's not engaging or it's not adding value, then you don't want it to be an hour long. You want it to be as long as it can be for people that remain on it, but I would say 10 to 15 to 20 minutes is my sweet spot. At least 10 minutes, though. That's the formula right there. If you are not super clear on your niche yet, does that make sense? Does it make it harder to create consistent shareable content? Not necessarily. Depends on the topics and it's not. In the beginning, the key is just to be creating consistent content where you can dial in on your niche, dial in on that. Set the intention to find out more about it. I started out on YouTube making very general personal development videos. I then made some law of attraction videos. People wanted more from that. I enjoyed making those videos. I then made hundreds of videos on the law of attraction, and people now know me as a law of attraction guy, even though I haven't made a law of attraction video in probably a year. But just dial in as you go. Get reference, get feedback, and then you kind of figure out what to do from there. You're welcome, Josh. Happy to hear that. Josh says that helps a lot. Thank you. Jaco says, question, if we compare Jay Shetty versus your type of videos, Aaron, Jay has more of a production movie style videos versus your style, which is more informal. Does that play a role in shareable videos? It can. The numbers, Jay Shetty, no doubt about it, has a much, much bigger audience than I do. I'm not saying this as an excuse or anything. I would say that my people probably feel more connected to me than the mass amount of people that feel connected to Jay. That's what I would personally maybe think. Not say that not wrong or right. I mean, maybe he's reaching way, way, way more people than I am. But I would say the informalness maybe makes me a little bit more relatable. There will come a time when I have millions and millions of followers. I'm not saying it to be cocky. I'm just being honest. And when that comes, there's a challenge because the more you become a little bit unrelatable, the more successful you become. When I move into like a $5 million house in the next couple of years, that might make me a little bit less relatable. You see? So there's beauty in the relatableness. There's beauty in the informalness. And I think that some of the people at a huge level, like Tony Robbins and Jay Shetty, they may be at a level that's unrelatable to a lot, to where people don't feel as deeply connected. I've seen that with some people. They become a little bit, the more successful they become, the more unrelatable they become. My goal is to always be relatable and to actually always have that informal, where you kind of feel like you know me mentality. So what I'm getting at is, should we make more production style type of videos or shareable? I just focus on shareable. Don't worry about the production. If you get inspired to make more production style videos, then you can do that. He has a whole team. He's not actually making any of his videos. He has a whole team that does it. So until you get to that point to where you have a whole team doing it, I'd focus on making consistent content in the beginning that's shareable. Work with what you have right now. I could hire a couple more people and do like a Gary Vaynerchuk type thing, and maybe one day I will. But right now, I enjoy my lifestyle. I don't know if I want like 5 people around me right now filming what I'm doing. Maybe eventually, but just work with where you are right now, and then eventually you might get there. My style is more your type of videos, very informal. Then I would focus on the informalness. We might eventually get there, We might eventually get there to where we have a team and stuff like that, but focus on having a deep connection with the people that you do have, and focus on being relatable more so than being, you don't necessarily always want to be the guru on the hill, the guy on the hill, the one, the huge audience, the very successful. Sometimes you want to be relatable as well. Relatability is also connected to shareability. And, there's drawbacks to all of this, to making viral content, to getting your message out there to as many people as possible, versus also going very deep with the people that are already there. So I'd say balance out a little bit of both. But yeah, I've been debating on that too, but I actually don't like my thumbnails. I still do my own thumbnails. It takes a lot of time for me to do my own thumbnails, but it has my own touch, I feel. And now I'm starting to experiment with some other things, but I don't want the very, very professional thumbnails necessarily. I think they're a little bit more unrelatable, like the ones that you might see where they're just really, really graphically designed. I like the way I do it, and it gets results. So, is there any other questions? I'll answer maybe one or two more questions. We're right at almost an hour right now. I want to thank everyone for being here. Any other questions? I'll answer one or two more questions. I had fun today with all of you. I would give you all a challenge too. Set the intention to make a couple pieces of viral content. What I do is I focus on a couple viral content pieces when I'm making my daily videos. So it's not every video I'm like, what are the motion? I don't put that much thought into every single video, but I have some videos that I do put that much thought into. Have the intention of making a piece of viral content. Start also on Instagram. Start creating shareable content on Instagram, like with what I was sharing with how shareable the content is. When you make a big headline, you make it very easy to share, easy to see, making it easily consumable within 7 seconds. Corey says, I'm going viral in the next couple months. I can feel it. I can feel it too, Corey. You go for it. So Kelly says, can you explain what the brand account is about on YouTube? I don't know about that. The brand account is on YouTube. I'm not sure. Oh, the brand account, like the name? I can't decide whether to put it under my name or come up with a name for my channel. That's why I'm asking about brand account. I say, I'm a big fan for creating personal brands and putting your own name. Because I've seen so many people that started out one way and then they changed their name. And you got to rebrand. Your name's never going to change. Now, what is your intention though? Because some people may want to make an account that they're not really in it. It's just their voice. They may eventually want to sell that. And you can't really sell it. I can't ever sell Aaron Dowdy because that's me. But if I had like the Expand Your Awareness channel, that is sellable. You see what I mean? What is your intention? In general though, I'd say 90% of the people here use your name. That's what I would recommend. I'm really enjoying this session. I want to get the full transmission by not writing stuff down. Will I be able to rewatch this later on? Yep, you'll be able to watch it. The YouTube video, we're going to put it in the course as well. However, for now, it'll be here. It'll be in the link in the full-time purpose. You'll see it there. Is there an ideal time of day to post your video on YouTube? I just stay consistent. I've been posting videos since 10:30 every morning for 3 years now. So I just stay to it because now people are on that pattern. I do 10:30 Pacific Standard Time. There is no right answer. Victor does them at 4 or 5 o'clock p.m. Just depends on you. Depends on you. So I would say find a consistent time though. If you could do Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, do it at whatever time. Do it every day. Get people in the habit of watching you. So that is the key. I want to thank all of you for being here. The homework I have for all of you is set the intention to create more shareable content. Set the intention to make a piece of content that gets more, not just views, but that gets more shares. Make sure it has value. Make sure you share an emotion. You have an emotion in there, maybe 1 or 2 emotions, maybe a little bit of curiosity, maybe spike a little bit of surprise in there, maybe put a little bit of awe in there. See how you can kind of be an alchemist for these different emotions. And be you. Still be you, but focus on these angles of you, these sides of you, these emotions, and then focus on making things extremely shareable. And think about it. How do people feel? What do people want to feel when they're sharing your content? How does it make them look to share your content? What kind of keywords are you using? Start focusing on headlines more. Make consistent content. And then remember, have unwavering faith of your vision and have extraordinary effort. Consistent content. These two things combined will change your life. So with that being said, I want to thank everyone for being here. Let me know what you thought of this in the Facebook group. Let me know what you thought of this. You want more kind of like more specific workshops like this? If you want the workshop on finding your why, finding your message, and finding your story, let me know. Maybe the next one we'll do something like that. We'll talk about archetypes and stories or something, and understanding how that goes into the collective consciousness and how that is very shareable. So with that being said, I want to thank you all for being here. Peace, much love, and namaste.